Hey guys, Zack Mars here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. So, in the last episode, we beat Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. So, we have beaten 2 of the 3 games in this trilogy, which means there's only one trilogy left to go. Well, one game left in the trilogy left to go. There is another trilogy left to go, but I'm not going to be able to Let's Play that for you guys. At least not for right now, unless Capcom decides to release it for other platforms. Wink. But in any case, we've beaten Justice for All, which means we now get to move on into Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, which is the third and final game in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. And then obviously there's 4 through 6, but I'm not gonna play those for you guys unless they get re-released. But yeah. In any case, I'm gonna just continue onward with the game. So we're gonna get started with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, and we're gonna start rounding off this trilogy and finally start finishing off this long, arduous project. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we've only got Turnabout Memories unlocked from the start because that's all we've been able to play so far. But so we're just gonna go into Turnabout Memories. I have no idea what Turnabout Memories actually is. So yeah, but based on what I'm looking at, it seems that Mia is going to be a major character in this one. It looks like this might actually be her first case or something. Seems like. Or rather the origin of how she and Phoenix met. I don't know. But that would make sense considering I'm pretty sure Turnabout Memories is going to be yet another tutorial. Because obviously every first chapter in the game has been a tutorial to teach us how to play the game before. Although, they're always interesting anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They actually do a really good job of, well, I guess not really, but they do a really good job of teaching players how to play, while also treating you like it's your first time. So they actually do a really good job of that. But in any case, we're just gonna get into Turnabout Memories. So yeah, let's play. I'm curious what the story behind this is. Huff, huff, pants. Arg! How did I get into this mess? Oh. Why? Why did I do that? Oh, it's young Phoenix. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. So did Phoenix accidentally kill someone? That's what it seems like. Yeah, this is a very... It wasn't me. I didn't do it. So someone shot him and then he died, and now Phoenix looks like the guilty party. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Ooh. April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 3. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem! Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Mia, please calm yourself down. I was wondering when he was going to come back. I'm glad I got it right. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. She says, even though she's yelling. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't gotten the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What, with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcibly, too. I just found out yesterday. About this case, I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you so nervous. You'll see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there. That's our client. Hi. Why is he wearing a face mask? Cough, sniffle. Good morning there, everybody. Okay, so this was Phoenix before he was a lawyer. Interesting. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine. No problem. Stop! Achoo! Okay. Oh, because wasn't he in the rain? Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. Fair enough. Everybody's wearing masks, Phoenix. You're not alone. Everybody is wearing a mask because there's a big scary germ going around. My doc says this way I won't give it to anybody else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Nah. Please let go of my shirt. Cough. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. Okay, so this is the origin of how they met. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. I'm curious what happened. Alright, it's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. Alright, April 11th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Oh. I think I know who that is. Court now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. This is the first time. Well, actually, canonically speaking, it is the first time he's been arrested for murder. This is canonically the first trial where he's actually been accused of murder and has been put on trial for it. Although, second time would have to have been the time he defended himself. Probably then. Probably when he took on Red White. That's interesting. So this game likes to jump around its timeline, it seems. Then again, we saw that with it. It wasn't so obvious. I forgot. It wasn't so obvious there, but Justice for All did that as well, where we had the first trial in that game wasn't actually the first trial. It's like that was like the third or fourth trial in that set. I don't really know. But in case, court now in session for a trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. He has hair. Holy shit, he has hair. I was not expecting... And he has a pompadour as well. Okay, I was not expecting Payne to have hair. I'm used to seeing him bald. This is new for me. I'm not used to him having hair. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't this him standing right there next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend all this time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Oh, now I get it. That's why he does the weird hand thing. He used to play with his pompadour and then he just got into a habit of doing it. Even after his hair went away. That's why he does the weird thing with his hand. I did not know that. That's cool. Don't worry, little girl. It will be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Yeah, we saw Phoenix talking to him. Oh, what do I got in my court record? Ooh, Doug's obsessive report profiles. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's a new character. Dahlia Hawthorne. We haven't met her yet. And there's Doug Swallow. Here's the victim. Phoenix Wright, my client. Yeah, he's 21. I think he's like 25 presently. Also, Marvin Grossberg was 60. Marvin Grossberg is 60 in this. And then he's 49. Okay. Alright, so there is a passage of time here. The victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Alright, he was a fourth-year student of studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Unfortunately, he seems to have been taken way too soon. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Ooh, is that gonna be evidence? Oh! Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. Interesting. Why is there a cable that is hanging down? Me thinks that Phoenix didn't do that. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo and the record as evidence. Alright, crime photo 1. The crime took place behind an IVU building. Alright, so is that where Phoenix studied law then? By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Hee. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. How? An unusual death? How did he die? Cause of the death was a fatal electric shock. Alright, so... what happened? Okay, so how did Phoenix... Phoenix didn't do that then. Somebody had to have shot the wire, then knocked it down. Phoenix couldn't have done that because he was standing right in front of the dude. And if he had a gun, why didn't he just shoot the man? Okay, I'm already finding a bunch of holes in this. What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a gentleman, if you will. What? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Ah, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. I just did. I literally just did it. It's fine. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of this case are filed in the court record. But you know that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the right bumper. I've already done that. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed the right bumper here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? No. The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Yeah, they were arguing over a girl. So, yeah. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're a defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know? Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove the old Graybeard's face. Yes, sir, into old Graybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between the profiles and evidence with the right bumper, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? We know Phoenix Wright's she's Phoenix Wright's current girlfriend, and she's very pretty. I will admit that. She is very pretty looking. But we got Phoenix Wright. Obviously, he currently has a cold. Dated the victim Doug Swallow until 8 months ago. And so, let's just say her. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she had some part to play in the story. Ooh, but what part was it? He's done it again! Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Alright, I'm interested to see what's going on. And he's currently got a cold, so he's got his face covered. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect. Fair enough. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, achoo! I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swell. But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you, I was, achoo! Okay, with the defendant, please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us. He's wearing a mask, he's probably fine. It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Alright. I'm interested, the victim and I. I'm interested to see what he has to say about this. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Looks like that a judge understands. You're being naive, you know? Too naive. Huh? Hee. It seems that you forgot one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's trying to get me to cross-examine the witness and make sure that I point out the contradictions in his testimony so that Phoenix actually goes to jail. We know this doesn't happen because this is set way before, but still interesting. Still interesting that Payne was trying to do this. Also, it seems that Payne may have an axe to grind against Phoenix based on this. Maybe. That might explain why it seems like they have a one-sided rivalry, because this was one of Payne's first cases, or at the very least, Phoenix contributed to a loss he had a long time ago, and he never forgave Phoenix for it. If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that the testimony just now, that there was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Mr. Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Alright, time to cross-examine. What do we got? Okay, I admit I was there. We don't have anything that we can do yet. Profiles. Currently has a cold. They're in lawyer with a little too much... Okay, so what do we got? I don't think we have anything yet. When you say there, you meant the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened, anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Achoo! Achoo, achoo, achoo! Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? But I'm not killer. Okay. Okay, so... You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? True. Okay, he's got a cold. Unfortunately, it was some other student that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Achoo. Okay, he's still got to sneeze. Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean, so which is it? Did you know him or not? True. Okay, he's... Now, see here, you can't avoid answering the questions by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who's this Dolly person? Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. Okay. I've never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Okay. Well, Mr. Wright? Ah, no, it wasn't me. I'm not the killer, I swear. Well, okay then. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Okay. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, you see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who is this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow? The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg. Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. What evidence, I mean? Okay, Mia checks the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I should probably be able to handle... I should handle it myself, be able to handle it myself, considering I've played through 2 of these now. I should know how to handle this. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Alright, so, what do we got? His jacket doesn't even have a Union Jack on it. That's the contradiction. Okay. Okay. Okay, so presents.
Objection!
Yeah. Sorry, Phoenix. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there a point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He was wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. What? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Mia, you made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. Hee 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 hee. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took up some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand? Called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Hee 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 hee. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He's lost it. Does it even have anything to do with this case? Seems like it's going to if Payne's bringing it up. Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X!
Objection!
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Well, this is gonna get worse before it gets better. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine. Dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify the killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Okay, crime photo 2 has been added to the court record, and Cold Killer X has been added to the court record. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this? This is really bad. Payne just made me his bitch. He really did. I mean, that's probably not the way you should describe a young lady, but he did. And long story short, he just kind of gave me the workaround and made me play right into his trap. Oh, my buttocks! My poor hemorrhoids! Alright, what really happened? Alright, so now we gotta cross-examine. The truth is, I went because he called me. Alright. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Achoo. Okay. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Alright, what really happened? Okay. This is gonna get worse before it gets better. Alright. So, presents? I can open the court record. What do we got in here? Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Check. Okay. Victim's watch stopped at around the time of death. Wait. No. Okay, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Alright, let's see what Alright. Okay, press. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is is kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. Ugh! What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. It was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 245 behind that building. Alright. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 245? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? Absolutely. What timing of the meeting? So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Let's go on with their test. Okay, I'm gonna... Alright. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna press the other statement here. Because obviously that's gonna be important as well. About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. Alright, so... Okay, talk for a bit, and then around 3 o'clock we split up. Right, so what was it you were talking about? You know, achoo, cough! That maybe we shouldn't hang out again. That maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later, when I was back, I found him lying there. So you say came back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Okay, he's breaking the silence. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one isn't buying this. I've been taking cold killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Alright. Alright, it's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, does anyone else notice that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Okay. Press? On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the 2 of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Alright, I think that's enough for now. So, the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle, either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. Alrighty. What do you mean? Hee. I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. how the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Okay. Well, let's look at this. Well, there's an umbrella that's messed up. Establish a murder method. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Hee. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Alright, now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Well, the only other thing I can think of is a crime photo where he was actually electrocuted. So let's just present that. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Well, look at the umbrella. Either the umbrella or this. Actually, no. Actually, the wire. It would have to have been the wire, so let's present the wire. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmaceutical students use in their experiments require high voltage, and because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then, the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is most likely the explanation. It certainly does sound plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendants. Okay, but that doesn't prove anything, because how would the cable have been severed? That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something beside the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. I have my doubts, but... Order! That's enough! I think we conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done! Mr. Grossberg? My hemorrhoids never lie! The show's over, Mia! I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him! No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor! At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. And do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I will represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There is no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further cough. I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Well, that doesn't really confirm anything. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. Yeah, that's very strange, isn't it? It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. How do you know about the Harlem Shake? What is this set? How do you know? How do you know what the Harlem Shake is? When is this game set? When is this game set? I need to look that up afterwards. When is this game set? That cause I don't think you should know about the Harlem Shake. When I pushed the victim. Alright. You shouldn't know about the Harlem Shake, by the way. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. And then you pushed him. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Alright. I pushed the victim. Alright, let's keep pushing this cross-examination. Talking bad about Dolly, we know that. So, what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said that all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... Okay. Alright. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Alright, can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no silver cable anywhere to be seen. Right. There was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like a cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness. Alright, at that moment I heard some kind of loud noise. What loud noise? A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Hee 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 hee. Clearly, Your Honor, it was a sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Yes! Because he would have been lying on top of the umbrella, but in the crime scene photo, he's not. Well... Yeah, actually, it is important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. Wow, okay. The court agrees to the defense requests. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. Alright. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Alright, a little while after I left, I started to get worried. Okay, let's keep pressing to make sure we have all the information. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just there, dead. Alright, sure enough. All that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Hey, cough, cough! Cough, cough, cough. Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now, I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Well, we know what it is. Alright. Well, we know from the crime scene photo that he should have been lying on top of it, but he wasn't. He's not. Why is he several feet away from where his umbrella should be?
Objection!
There we go. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Well, that's definitely a counter-argument. I will give him that. Order, order, order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where's it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want to present it as evidence immediately. Okay, owned by the victim found broken near the electric pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. He would have been lying on top of it, dumbass. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But... Alright. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but As long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! Okay. Well, in any case, that should... I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix's testimony added to the court record. Fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. So, we have testimony results now. Well done, Mia! Heh. He seems to have recovered, despite having a big hole in his case. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? Ugh, this is bad. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. But then why was she at the scene of the crime? Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I'm interested to see too. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. I think I know why, Mia. Okay. I think I know why. April 11th, 11:52 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Miss Faye? I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, it was like pulling teeth, but it worked out. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy! You can't be serious! After hiding such important facts? But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me, I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life? Huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse. Interesting. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway. Okay, so this is where he started learning to become a lawyer. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then... She took it off, but before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. I forgot to do his accent. That's alright. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. It makes me so happy I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Alright. A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day that they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she's always saying the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on the August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took a very keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases, am I correct? Alright, I'll go from 8/28, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. That actually felt a little bit shorter, but that's okay. In any case, to be continued. Alright. And that's how that chapter ends. Oh, I like the music for that. That sounded cool. Alright, well, in any case, I think we're gonna leave this episode here. So, this is getting interesting. So, this is how, well, I guess I can't really say it's gotten interesting since it's literally just the start of the game, but, so there's a little plot twist in there about Dahlia Hawthorne and how she may be connected to a murder that happened at the courthouse. That's what I'm getting at, anyway. It's very strange, but it is definitely there. There is definitely a connection there with Dahlia, and now I think it's just a matter of proving it. But the Umbrella also poked a bit of a hole in the testimony there as well. Now that we know the Umbrella exists, and then it poked an entire hole in the prosecution's case. Now we can actually move forward with that, presumably, and also maybe investigate a little bit more to figure out more about what's going on with that. But for right now, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter in the description below. If you guys want to keep up to date with what's going on the channel, then be sure to check that out in the description below as well. Yeah, and also, be sure to check out my Patreon if you want to help support me. That's the best way to do that. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks out of my way of saying thanks. So be sure to check those out in the description below as well. Also, if you want to see more content from me, you can either check out my Twitch down in the description below, or check out the videos linked in the end screen. I stream every Sunday, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time over on Twitch, so if you want to go check that out, either click the link in the description, or you can also check out the link inside end screen and check it out that way. Also you can just go there by going to twitch.tv/ZackMarsh.Twitch. Any of those methods will work. And speaking of the end screen, again, you can go check out, if you want to see more content from me, then be sure to check out the videos links there. The top video is the most recent video. It may or may not be this one. Whereas the bottom video is a video recommended to you based on what you've already seen from me. So, if you want to try something new, or see more of what you like, then be sure to check both of those videos out. But, regardless of whether or not you do any or all of those things, thank you guys so much for watching. And also next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!